Hey, what Big X say 2 a.m. and I'm live, 10:15, and we live, man. It's your boy Earl of Pearl, it's your boy Cecil Shorts, and we doing a live version of the Ultimate 216 show. Good morning, man. Y'all know the vibes from us. If you woke up, you already won. I pray that somebody take this 24 hours and do something that your future self will thank you for, man. Coming up on today's episode, we got the Cavs versus Pacers part 2. I think we all got revenge on our mind. Cecil, CS3, Cecil Shorts the third is going to do his first positional breakdown. We're going to start with Shedeur Sanders. And of course, man, the hottest thing last night was Dak Prescott to Cleveland. This was the first sign that silly season is in full effect. Let me set this up how we got there. News broke Mike McCarthy was not going to return to the Dallas Cowboys. And Jerry Jones, being Jerry Jones, reached out to Deion Sanders. Had some talks with Deion's about possibly becoming the next coach. Y'all already know what come with that. Deion, Shedeur, you put that together. Browns got the number 2 pick, and people started going crazy with these different scenarios of, we can trade pick number 2, get Dak Prescott, we keep it moving. Now, since then, Deion Sanders has said, it's intriguing, it's interesting. I trust Jerry. I see what Jerry is doing, but I love it in Boulder. I like what I'm building in Boulder. And I'm going to stay in Boulder. But it's silly season. So we're going to do the what if scenario anyway, man. First of all, did you think by 10:45 p.m. yesterday that we will be talking about Dak Prescott to the Browns?
No, I'm not until you text me. I'm like, wait, what am I missing? I'm looking. Earl texted me last night. Hey, we got to hit on Dak Prescott. I'm like, whoa. So I started looking up on Twitter, started looking up ESPN articles, Adam Schefter, all this stuff. And I'm like, I got it. If in my mind, I'm like, okay, if this were to, and there's so many financial things that goes into this. He has a huge contract, right? I get that part. Deshaun's still on the roster. I get all of that. But I'm like, if we have an opportunity to get, in my opinion, a top 10 quarterback, top 12 quarterback in the league, you need to do that right now. Like right now. That's just my humble opinion before we start jumping into it. Or people sleep on Dak, man. People are asleep on Dak.
Nah, I'd rather have Shedeur Sanders, man. We'll get to Shedeur, but tell me why you think, like, okay, if that was to go down and if that was the situation, why you would want Dak Prescott and what a trade package would look like for you?
Well, let me be clear. I'm on record saying I think it should be a rebuild, right? So obviously, if you go get Dak, it's not a rebuild. You're trying to win right now. But if you look at the scenario, the Browns never came out and said we're rebuilding. They never came out and said this is the plan yet, right? Andrew Berry is still there. Stefanski's still there. So in my mind, the thing about the scenario, okay, if I'm trying to win now, why not go get a proven, capital P, a proven quarterback that has took his team to the playoffs, that had tons of success, that's threw for tons of yards, that can make his team better, you can plug and play. He can be a guy that comes in, tough mindset. I think he gets a terrible rap, in my opinion, because of who he plays quarterback for. He plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, no matter what he does, he's going to get criticized like crazy. To me, he's a top 10 to 12 quarterback, plug and play. You're ultimately better as a team with him at your quarterback right now. And matter of fact, he's best. He'll be your best quarterback since Kosar. He's that good in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying too much about the Browns quarterbacks, but I'm just saying though, he's the type of guy. He's a leader. His teammates love him. He will come in and play and put you in position to win. Period. Now, I love Shedeur, my favorite quarterback coming out in the draft, but he's unproven in the league. Why go for somebody unproven when you have somebody that's proven already?
All right, so that's a nice little argument that you made for a little here we go.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? little Mr. Here we go. Like, all right, cool. Career record, right? He got he's 76-46 in his career. So he's a winner in a regular season. But he's also 2-5 in the playoffs, right? And when you don't show up in the playoffs, to me, it's like that's a red flag against you. This is why I was like, hell no on Dak Prescott. For the same reasons as you. I think the Browns should either rebuild, retool, whatever they want to call it. But I'm not interested in adding a 32, soon to be 32-year-old quarterback who has a very lengthy injury history to an already aging roster when I know I got plenty of issues on this team. And I think when you make that type of move and when you have that mindset, okay, let's go add Dak Prescott, then I think that would be the Cleveland Browns selling a fan base false hope. Like it's almost like a relationship that didn't work, right? So what's the relationship? The rebuild that started since 2017. It didn't work. And instead of going back and trying to fix it and trying to force it, we need to accept the fact as a fan base, it didn't work out. It didn't turn out the way we wanted it to turn out. We kind of need to step back, move on, and start fresh. And I think for me and you, start fresh equals a rookie quarterback. I feel like we just did the whole retread, trade for another team's quarterback. And for the love of God, bro, like this fan base will lose this. You know what? If we go trade for another quarterback that's making what? $237 million. Okay. So
it would be crazy. It would be crazy.
And then to your point, like there's financial ramifications from Dallas standpoint that wouldn't make that possible. But for me, when I was seeing people really like buying into this yesterday, I was like, man, what is happening here? Like, what are we really doing? How did we
playing Madden, man? That's what we doing. We playing Madden.
Hey, I tweeted yesterday. I was like, since we playing Madden, man, you might as well give me CD Lamb too. Like, see, this is what we doing. Hey, give me CD Lamb, give me CD Lamb, and give me Jerry's World. You know what I'm saying? Since we want to do it like this, but I think Dak is a good quarterback. I'm not taking anything away from him. If you look at Dak's career, I mean, all he has done in the regular season is win. All he has done is put up yards. Now, last year was the anomaly. He was hurt. But if you look at it, 66% completion, over 31,000 yards passed, and over 213 career touchdowns, less than 100 interceptions. QBR is flirting, right? QB rating flirting around 100. So when you see that, bro, like, yeah, you can't argue against that. But I think when you watch Dak and the playoffs, when it's money time, when it's winning time, and to your point, because of who he played for, like 2-5,
bruh, he not tackling, he can't block, he can't cover, like he can only do so much. Let me read you a few stats. All right,
go ahead.
You're right. He's 2-5 in the playoffs. He's 2-5 in the playoffs. In 2017, 24 for 38, 302 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's not his fault. The next year, 22 for 33, 226 yards and touchdown to pick. Against, 25 for 33, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns. He produces at times in the playoffs, but it's not always on him. It's just the quarterback gets the terrible rap, especially if you play for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, you just get that rap. It's not all on him. His career and average in the playoffs, right? 25 completions, just under 40 attempts. That's the completion percentage is around 64%, 280 yards passing, around 7 yards a catch, and then 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. So he's not bad overall in the grand scheme of things. Now, I'll say this. Those stats could be a little, just being honest, it could be a little deflated up. I mean, a little inflated because you're down so much and then you got to pass, right?
Yeah.
So I get that part. I do watch the games. But I'm just saying, like, if this opportunity arises and they decide to take it, which is, again, this is all
the silly season. Yeah.
Silly season, right? Yeah. You're getting a top 10, top 12 quarterback. Like, you're getting somebody that's going to help you compete right now. Now, I do agree with you. There's other areas, offensive line, running back, another receiver, some help at the linebacking core. Like, there are other positions you need to help to make this team fully be a Super Bowl contender. But I think if you add Dak, you're automatically in a position where you're an assumed playoff contender, especially in the AFC North.
Hey, man, by no means am I saying, if we be clear, we add Dak Prescott today, the Cleveland Browns are in the best quarterback situation at least since Baker Mayfield. You said at least since Bernie. You know what I mean? I'll give it more recent history, at least since Baker, right?
Baker,
I'm just saying, like, I just think I got this opinion, and this is a perfect segue into what we about to talk about next. I just think that starting fresh with a fresh quarterback that we drafted, not somebody that we traded for, not a retread. I think if you want to restore some faith and hope into this fan base, if you want to, get people excited again, then I think you should go the rookie route. Speaking of, don't forget, man, The flagship show, Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, is coming to you live right after this. So if you tuned in for the Ultimate 216 show, stay right here. Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show coming up. We got a fire show. Who we got, Mike? We got Cardale Jones. We got Cardale Jones coming on. So that should be fire. Also, thank y'all for 50,000 subscribers. It means a lot to us all, man. Can I tell you, like, as we continue to grow this whole UCSS brand, man, like, it's because of you that we're able to do so. I'm going to let you cook. Because this is the first ever CS3 positional breakdown. Now, when people see this and be like, okay, why in the hell is Cecil breaking down the quarterback and he's a former wide receiver? What y'all don't even know is Cecil was a quarterback first. He was a QB before he was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
This is how I feel about Shedeur Sanders. I'm starting to buy in on Shedeur Sanders being the Cleveland Browns' next quarterback. Couple reasons here, right? He's Deion's kid. And because he's Deion's kid, he has had a lot come his way that he didn't ask for, that he didn't earn, that he didn't deserve. And you've seen him keep that poise. You've seen him kind of stay quiet and go about business as usual. When him and his father arrived in Boulder, Colorado, with everything that come behind a last name and knowing the history of Colorado, to see what this young man has did in 2 seasons there to flip that program into a program of relevancy again, like, it says a lot about what he's capable of doing. To me, it says a lot about the mental strength. It says a lot about the mental ability. You know, you see the on field, he didn't play behind a good offensive line, but yet somehow, some way, his completion percentage was always through the roof. Somehow, some way, the accuracy was always right there. I just look at it like, when you look at the Cleveland Browns situation, when you look at this franchise, and when you look at where we're trying to go, if you compare that to what Shedeur Sanders walked into Colorado, there are some similarities there. And because of what I seen him do in Colorado, I don't think the pressure is too much for him to have success here in Cleveland. I'm not really worried about, the fans right now that say, well, I don't want Shedeur because of what comes with him, his dad, or him being quote unquote too flashy. I truly believe that if Shedeur shows up in the city of Cleveland and he's a winning quarterback, everybody, they mama, they grandmama, they great grandmama, everybody gonna be behind this young man, because he is, he will be the next thing. And you've watched a lot of Shedeur over the time, and this is your first breakdown. So take the floor, man. Take the floor.
Okay, so let's looking at Shedeur's stats this year. Let's start there. 4,100 yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 168.2 QB rating. I think his completion percentage was about 74% this year. And he's over 70 for his career from 2 years at Jackson State and 2 years in Boulder. This kid is phenomenal. By far my favorite quarterback in the draft. And if you can, I want to get this out the way. So I'll start with his quote unquote weaknesses, and which was everybody in the draft will have weaknesses, right? I think when it comes to him, it will be his slight frame. It will be the lack of elite arm talent. Now, this is me being picky, right? This is me being really picky here and there. And this is the type of year, you call it silly season. Well, I call shorts and t-shirt season. So a lot of people are going to kind of knock Shedeur for not being the 6'4", for not being the Anthony Richardson 230-pound crazy athlete type. He's not going to run super fast. He's not going to be super quick. The boy just plays quarterback extremely well. And to me, I want a guy that's going to play quarterback extremely well. And that's just what it is. Like, I could care less about all that other height, weight, the lack of arm talent. Tom Brady didn't have the best arm talent, but he got rid of the ball quickly, right? Mm-hmm. If you look at the breakdown, I watched all of his games over the last couple of years, but this year in particular for this breakdown, I watched 5 games in particular. And kind of charted what I've seen, just looking at the short, medium, and deep completion percentage. When I mean this guy gets the ball out quickly and he processes things quickly, one of his strengths is being able to get the ball out quick, and his ball placement when it comes to where he's going with the ball. Like, I haven't seen that in a long time. He gets the ball out quickly. His pre-snap reads, he understands, okay, where's my easiest throw? Boom, I'm going there right now. And when it comes to the quick game, there's times where the OC, you can tell, gives him a play. He switches at the line of scrimmage and turns it to a big play. I love his poise in the pocket. Absolutely love his poise in the pocket. It's so many times, and you mentioned it. There's times he gets sacked 8 times in the game. It's times he gets sacked 6 times in the game. It's times he gets sacked 5, 6. It's multiple times he's getting hit over and over again, especially his junior year. But he stays so poised, and he's in the pocket, and he's delivering with people in his face. Now, remember, he's about 6'1"-ish, probably around
6'2" on a
200,
good day. Yeah.
under around 200 pounds. And he's able to deliver that ball, boom, in with the pressure in his face, and it's extremely accurate. Yes, he does hold the ball long at times. But for me, that can be taught. Because, again, he's trying to make plays down for his field. Now, I'll be honest with you. He played with 4 guys this year that I think will be drafted. Travis Young, Webster, Horn, and I forgot the other kid's name. But those 4 guys probably will be drafted this year. But he was putting those boys in great situations, getting in and out of plays. Now, I would agree with this when I saw a comment. There's moments he does a good job of getting out the pocket and creating well, but there's also moments where he's holding on to the ball too long and doesn't slide well inside the pocket, right? So it's times where they made the left tackle is coming up, instead of just sliding up and sliding back over to avoid that defensive end, he may get hit, he may take a sack. So there's moments where there's things he can work on, but when it comes to quarterback play, when it comes to handling the pressure, when it comes to playing big time in big moments, there's not a better quarterback in this draft that's more tested. You mentioned it, Deion Sanders' son. All eyes are on you. All eyes have been on him since Jackson State. And people were saying at Jackson State, oh, he wasn't going to do this, he wasn't going to do that. He went to the Big 12, and he put on a show week in and week out. Everybody and their mama came to the game. When they won 4 games, everybody was saying this. He was putting these stats up when they were 4-8 or 4-7 with no offensive line. Offensive line got better, more weapons came, and you've seen him progress, get better. Yes, it's things he can work on, but that kid can play some football. His processing, from, if you watch the film, he's going from one read to the next read to the next read and getting the ball out. He's going from one read to the next read, find the check down. If it's not there, he's getting outside of the pocket, finding his way down the field. I would like to see him run a tad bit more, trust his athleticism just a little bit more. But this kid can flat out play quarterback. And to me, if you're the Cleveland Browns, and when you see a guy that's as mentally tough as him, when you see a guy that is not scared to go to a cold weather city, is not scared to go to a team that's not very good and turn that program around, and the whole nation, I coach high school football. Every high school quarterback in Texas, every high school kid in Texas, what were they doing and made a big play? They're doing the Shedeur Sanders. The type of player that he could be, the aura he has, can change a franchise around, can change the city around, and he can put this city on his back and really lead a group of men. These guys believed in him. His leadership on the field, he was challenging Travis Hunter. He was challenging him. Hey, do you want the damn ball or not? I don't want no excuse. Do you want the ball or not? That's the type of guy you want in your quarterback room. Somebody that's not scared to talk to the best player, communicate, and then feed him the ball because he understands that's my guy, right? Too many big moments he stepped up in. Too many times he showed who he really is. So don't come to me with the lack of, not said in the weaknesses, the lack of arm strength. He's not going to impress you with the shorts and t-shirt, but he's going to impress you on the football field where it matters most. Don't get confused by these analysts and scouts, y'all. Don't get confused. A lot of these guys are always into these traits. How big, how strong, how fast. They want to see the Anthony Richardson types. They want to see the crazy Joe Milton type of quarterback. When it comes down to how can you be a leader of men? Can you play in pressure situations? Can you read the coverages and go through your progressions? Can you get the ball out quickly? Can you make adjustments when the blitzes come? He does that extremely well. So I'm very, very high on Shedeur Sanders.
All right, let's read some of these comments before we move on to our last topic. Don't forget the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, flagship show, comes at you at 11 a.m. You can jump into the chat room starting at 10:50. Shout out to everybody who's making some comments. If you want your comment read before we get up out of here, drop it and we'll get it on your screen. Michael had a few things to say. He said Shedeur holds the ball too long. I just think he'll get completely destroyed behind his O-line, and he won't have the benefit of playing a cupcake schedule like he did at Colorado. I think, to me, when it comes to the schedule part of things, you only play who's on your schedule, and you don't really have no control on how successful or lack thereof that program is. It's not like you're doing your work in Boulder, Colorado, and you looking over and what's going on elsewhere, you can't control that. Only thing you can control is, how well you play and if you come out victorious or not. So I don't. I mean, your thoughts on that?
I'll be honest with you. He showed up no matter who he played against. He bought it. Besides the BYU game where he got hit a lot, I think he threw 2 picks. The last 2 years at the Division I level, he played well in almost every single game. So say what you want. Josh Allen played at Wyoming. So don't give me about talking about it's a weak schedule, all this stuff. There's so many guys that played in different conferences around the country in college football. They get in the league and they produce. So please, just I get what you're saying, but just wait and see.
No, that's why we do that, man. That's why we're here doing these type of shows. FC says he holds the ball too long. Another one of those. He says pocket presence is not the strongest. With that being said, he is not very athletic or big to overcome his weaknesses previously mentioned. Lastly, will his style work here? I think his style will work here simply because of the accuracy, right? I think if you look at what Kevin Stefanski wants to do, what his system is made off of, it's almost like Shedeur Sanders is tailor made for it. I think his arm is strong enough even to throw the damn ball on this lake, right? Yeah. I mean, he was just throwing the ball in Colorado, so I'm not sure if that would be the biggest thing here. Michael came back and said, I wouldn't be upset if the Browns drafted him a Ward, to be honest. I just wish it wasn't with the second pick and we didn't have to pass on a sure thing like Abdul Carter or Mason Graham. Hey, Cecil, let me ask you a question. You played in the league. Is there a certain thing as a sure thing in his NFL draft? Like, is there any guarantees, right?
Nah, there's no guarantees. Like, so what, you can say, sorry, I mean cut you off. You can say like, all right, this guy is really, really good and his game would translate. Like Abdul Carter, his game would translate to the league. He pops off at Penn State. Like when you watch the film on him, he just boom. Okay, this guy's gonna be good no matter what team he's gonna be on. But it doesn't mean it's a guarantee that he'll be successful. You got to be healthy. You got to learn the scheme. Like a lot of times I see him, he's standing up. So he has to be in a 3-4 outside linebacker type. Can he put his hand in the ground? What type of moves can he play? Is he going to be good against a 30-year-old, a Trent Williams type, right? Because guys that understand and know the tricks of the trade, that don't care how athletic you are, they're technically sound, and they're gonna put their hands inside and hold on you. Now what can you do, right? It's easy to say a guy's a guarantee, but they got to go out there and prove it.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think sometimes, man, fans kind of get caught up in, what these national analysts and draft experts have to say. And it's no shade because I can remember me and you being in high school, kind of like having that same mindset. Like this dude said that dude gonna be a sure thing. So you know how I was in school. I was walking around like, hey, bro, gonna be a sure thing. And I'm really just repeating what I've heard. But I've been blessed enough to have friends like yourself and Tyvis Powell and others who have played this game at a very high level. And when you get a front row seat as a fan, you have a different perspective, right? Because your conversations with these people are different. And so you understand, like, yeah, just because they say that don't mean a damn thing. If this dude get drafted by the wrong team and is in the wrong system or got the wrong coaching, then he might not ever develop to be to who we think. We talking about Abdul Carter being a sure thing. Remember when Chase Young came out? How much of a sure thing did people think Chase Young was going to be? Number 2 overall pick, right? And Chase Young didn't end up having the career that most people projected him to have. So I just think people need to be careful when they say you're going to be a sure thing. I think it's a crapshoot anytime you draft any player because you never know. Injury, poor performance, poor behavior, anything can be an Achilles heel to you having work ethic. The whole nine can be an Achilles heel to you having success. Speaking of Achilles heels, as we get into our last topic, don't forget, man, to check not just the flagship show, but all of the ultimate spinoff shows, the Ultimate Guardian show, the Ultimate Buckeye show, the Ultimate Cavs show, and of course, the Ultimate 216. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell so you can get that little notification so that you're in the know every single time that we go live. Achilles heels, right? Man, let me find out the Cavs can beat everybody but the Pacers and the Hawks. let me find out that's what's really going on. That we know how to beat everybody but the Pacers and the Hawks, man. Let's set this up. Cavs versus Pacers, round 2 tonight, 7 p.m. Cavs are 7.5 point favorites according to FanDuel, with the over-under set at 233. How you feel about this game tonight, man? I thought the Cavs played, honestly, their worst game of the season last game out. I thought that game was worse than any of the two games versus Atlanta. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well, and they turned the ball over a lot. I am looking for some revenge. I'm looking for some redemption tonight. I think this is going to be a little bit tougher because Indiana is a physical team and they play better at home. They are on a 6-game winning streak. They have won all 6 of those games by double figures, and they got the momentum. It's not like that we're going into their house and we're coming off the victory. We the ones who took the L. What you see for tonight's game?
It's going to be a tough matchup. This going back to, I think something they played Sunday night, 11 for 41 from three-point land. That's hard to win when you're shooting like that. I need a big game from Donovan Mitchell. Like I truly think it's time for him to take over. Like we need a 30-point game. We need him to take over and really get after it to help get out this. I wouldn't even say it's a slump. This play a decent game coming off of a loss. To be honest, though, I'm not in panic mode. I do think when you look at the schedule, and I remember being a player, there's certain games you're up for, you're excited for, and then there's certain games against certain teams. It's just like, And to be honest, I think Indiana's a good matchup versus the Cavs. I think they're extremely physical. I think they got some tough players. Miles Turner, their point guard, Tyrese how you say his last name? Oh, losing my mind. Halliburton, sorry. And I think they're coached well, right? So I think there's certain teams that's going to be tougher, that may not be the ideal Boston Celtics, New York Knicks, right? But they just come out and they play tough and they're not scared of you. So the Cavs are the better team. I expect them to come out tonight hitting on all cylinders, but I do expect the Spider comes out and have a big game tonight, and we get that 33rd win tonight.
Yeah, I think a big game is due for Spider. He has not shot the ball particularly well. In fact, Michael, shout out to Michael, man. He's been all in the comments. He says Cecil is right. He needs to play well. He feels like he hasn't played well in a week or two. I wouldn't say he hasn't played well in a week or two. He hasn't shot the ball that well in a week or two. I thought in the game versus OKC, 3 for 16, but he did a lot of the little things, right? The Castles +8 with him in the lineup. He had the assists, he had the rebounds, and it seems like more often than not, he was making the right pass. But this is a game that, seeing how he shot the ball recently, if you want to quiet the noise or if you don't want people to go into a panic frenzy, then you need to come out. A 30 ball would be nice, right? 4 3-pointers made will be nice tonight, right? Yeah. And I think those are things that we will see. I just refuse to believe that this team will shoot as poorly as they did the last time out and turn the ball over the way that they did. I mean, they got outscored 68-40 in the second half, bro. They shot the ball 28%. They went 11 for 41 from 3.
Bro, like 32-7 run, like come on.
Yeah, those are things that typically don't happen. Yeah. And I'll be in there talking to Kenny, after the fact, and I've just paid attention to the last 3 or 4 games. Even when we won and we put up these high ass score totals, Kenny is like, yeah, but we ain't doing the little things that we need to do defensively.
Yeah.
And if we're not doing those things, then those things are a problem, because he said it. There's going to come a game to where the shots are not falling. And when the shots are not falling, are you still capable of doing the little things that create success? So, let's get back to it. Let's show it one more time just so people are in the know. The Cavs are on national TV tonight and Thursday night. We are on TNT, 7 o'clock, 7.5-point favorites. The over-under is set at 233. Let's read some of these comments. Tiffany says, can we get a parlay? Yeah, we can get a parlay.
Okay,
Monique says, where's my parlay? Everybody want a parlay, man. Everybody want a parlay. Michael said you guys sold me on Shedeur. Hey, Michael, shout out to you, bro. You've been here the entire episode. You've been interacting with me and Cecil, man. We need to figure out a way. Hit my email address, man. I'm going to get you an Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show shirt. And we got a couple minutes. I might as well go ahead and give my parlay because, yes, my parlay is already in.
Okay.
For the game tonight. I got a little 5-leg parlay. Let me see if I can get this loaded up because we only got like a minute or two. I'll be hitting too, y'all. So don't think I'm just. So
you ready for it?
My parlay is plus 729. I got Donovan Mitchell at 20 points and 4 made 3-pointers.
Okay.
I got Darius Garland at 2 made 3-pointers. I got Darius Garland at 15 points. I got Evan Mobley at 15 points. I got Jared Allen at 6 rebounds. Darius Garland at 6 assists. and I got Jared Allen at 10 points. I might get funky and go Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, double. I might.
Ooh, I like where you at with your parlay. It's funny because you mentioned, you were talking about the D Mitch. It'll be good for him to hit 4 3-pointers. Yeah, it'll be good for you to hit 4 3-pointers for your parlay. I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So, Spider, go out there on the road. Let him know you the Spider-Man. It's time. Cavs ain't losing no back-to-back games, man. We don't play those type of games around here. Hey, yo, this has been a fun episode, man. We thank you all for joining us. Catch us next week as we bring y'all some more fire content, man, from me to Cecil. Have a great day. Remember, man, be great, spread love. Being great come with a price. Spread love. That thing is priceless. Till next week, we out of here. Peace.